Well, I guess I'll be gone a couple hours.
Okay.
Gotta go gas up first, and then it's a ways. It's Tuesday, June 23rd. I'm going up FR26 at this point, towards Mt Lake, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to stay to the right on FR26, and then I think it's FR17 I'm going to turn on, and it's just a little ways up there. You get to the top of it, and it's not real far. You look off to the left, and way down below you, you can see a lake called Picayune Lake. And according to Gaia, there should be a dirt road going down to it from the ridge that I will be on. And if it doesn't look too crazy, I think I will try going down it to Picayune Lake. From there, the dirt roads branch off and go quite a few places. I don't know if I'll do much more today, but at some point, I'll check out more of those roads. So I gassed up just before I started this ride. And I figured I was getting probably 65 miles to the gallon, which is not too unusual. And again, that includes all of this forest road stuff that I do. And once again, I kind of did the calculation and figured that once little gas tank symbol starts flashing, telling you to gas up soon, I probably have about 50 miles range from that point, maybe 40. Call it 30 to be safe, but anyway, I think you could really go 40 to 50 miles before you're totally dry. So I got an update from my new friend Bob, who lives in Mt Shasta, that I went with him to. He bought a used Kawasaki klx230. Good price, seemed like, low miles. And at the time, it wouldn't run, so it got a little extra off the price to boot, but it was pretty obvious that the battery was totally flat and dead, because you could put jumper cables on it, would start up. Motor rev ran fine. I pitched it up and down through all the gears. That was fine. And the moment you took the jumper cables off, bleh, died. So he has since got himself a new battery for it, put it in, and sure enough, that solved the problem. He had a right front turn signal that wasn't working, and he's looked into that a little bit. All he told me was that the wiring was badly done. It's a rat's nest in there, and he's going to have to straighten that out a bit, so I assume he'll get that going. Hasn't ridden it yet, and I congratulate him. I would not have that much willpower, keeping in mind he hasn't ridden for 56 years. But his wife made him promise to buy protective gear before he takes his first ride. And I'm not sure what day, but some day he's going to go up towards Medford, and there's some cycle supply store up there. He's going to look at gear. Look for a helmet, boots, some sort of elbow, knee guards. I don't know what all he's going to look for, but hopefully he'll get himself armored up pretty good. Because I cannot believe that he'll start riding and not have some tip overs. And all that gear really helps a lot for tip overs. Helps a lot for higher speed crashes if you don't hit anything immovable. If you hit that big rock or curb or whatever that won't move, then you're still in trouble, but it'll give you a lot of protection if you just slide for a little ways. And you certainly need the helmet, because on tip overs or even relatively minor crashes, it's not uncommon to conk your head on the ground a little bit. And he needs all that gear. I think helmets are required to street ride in California. I doubt that there are any requirements on off-road riding, who knows, but if anything, you need it as much or more then. And I have no idea what kind of helmet he's going to get. I give him suggestions, but he goes on the web and sees things and chats with people, and he's got his own ideas, and he'll come up with his own solutions. But he's excited as a kid at Christmas, and I'm happy for him. He's having a lot of fun now. I hope it stays fun once he starts riding, and that he weathers the first few tip overs and it doesn't discourage him too much. Now, tip overs are something most people don't do very much if you're riding on pavement. When it happens, I mean, I've had it happen to friends and me too. You pull up to a stop sign or stoplight and you don't realize you're about to put your foot down in a hole. Your foot goes down 5 inches deeper than you expected, and over you go, but that's rare. But when you are riding on forest roads around here, it's rocky, rutty, challenging, and it's, I think, highly unlikely that he'll do any dirt riding out here without tip overs. I sure can't. Although I haven't done a tip over in quite a while. Huh. That means I'm due, right? My house is at an elevation of about 3,400. And I'm now up a little past 54, so I've come up 2,000 feet. Do a lot of climbing on this road. Pretty spot here. I see people camping here quite often. I kind of suspect, though, with that water right there, that mosquitoes could be a big problem. And I don't know, maybe if that water is flowing enough, mosquitoes couldn't hatch out there. They need stagnant water. Well, there's a look at the Pirelli MT21 tires. That's the back tire. Again, it's just maybe 10 millimeters wider than the stock back tire. And it's certainly got a little deeper, bigger knobs on it. Now for a look at the front tire. And again, I went one wider on that. And I know from many, many years experience, going a little wider on the front tire makes your bike more stable. It does better in loose sand and rocks. And for me, I can go faster with it now. Well, this is a very nice spot to take a break. Kind of halfway wondering, we could come out here with our dogs. They could cool down in that, and I don't know how it would work. Try and just do some bushwhacking around this hillside here. It looks pretty rough and rocky, but probably not great. It's an idea, though. I'm looking for trails, and I'm not seeing any. You'd think people that camped here would have beaten down some trails around here. I say more often than not, I can't stop here because someone will be set up camped here. Okay, 40 and 45. I thought it was FR17. I'm realizing now this will intersect FR17 if you go 13.8 miles. So this will be FR45. First little bit of the road there has just a slight washboard on it. And I bring the Tiger up here and I got that traction control on. It'll just be chattering away, cutting power to that rear tire. In general, at least for me, riding on a dirt road, I don't like traction control. I guess if you had one that was very unobtrusive, maybe it might keep that rear end from kicking out when you're sliding around the corner. Even then, it'll only keep the rear from kicking out if you're on the throttle. If you're not on the throttle, I mean, traction control does nothing. So if you start into a slide and you're off throttle, you're on your own. You better figure it out. That is Gumboot Lake way down there. I don't know if you get a look at Upper Gumboot Lake from this road. There's a few spots you could barely see it when you stay on FR26 down there. Yeah, I don't think I'll get a look at Upper Gumboot. This is cutting back to the... What direction would that be? Cutting away from it anyway. So I'm seeing Picayune Lake on the Zumo. This is not the way down to it yet, though. And that's a very, very steep slope. So if there's a way down to it, it's got to... You can see Picayune Lake now down there. looks like a pretty lake. There's a good road down to it, and I don't know, maybe there's a trail around it for the dogs. Be a little longer drive than Gumboot, though. And Gumboot already takes about half an hour from our house. This might be, who knows, 45 minutes to an hour. Get this far. Well, if the Zumo has it right, there should be a road coming up here pretty soon on the left. It would get me down there, but is it actually a road that you can go on? Yeah, there we go. Starts out pretty good. Or is this still just the main? Well, no, it says Bear Creek Road, so they have graded this. You don't see that very often. This is in better shape than FR45 up there. The Zumo is calling this the Bear Creek Road. I don't know if there's an FR number on it or not. But no, this road is fine. Like I said, I swore off dirt roads on the Tiger, but the Tiger could get down this without any trouble. I just don't really want to do that on it anymore. It's kind of got loose gravel on top of it. It's not deep at all, but it's kind of a hard surface with loose gravel, which you got to be careful. That makes it a little slippery. Okay. Private property. Time to look at Gaia. Unfortunately, I can explore some more roads, but Picayune Lake is private. Private property, no trespassing, no hunting. And it says mountain lion habitat. If I want to, I can go back up there and continue on down and take a right turn, and then it'll intersect up with FR45 again and bring me back. That'd be a little bit of a loop. And I got a little bit of a late start, so that's probably enough. I'll just do that. Anyway, sorry Picayune Lake, I can't go down there and take a real look at you. Picayune Lake Preserve, it says. Private property. Can't believe how much work they put into this road. I didn't check my elevation up there, but I'm at 6,000 feet now. This is the same elevation as Gumboot Lake. Boy, little roads off this everywhere. I'll bet they're, I don't know. I guess I don't know what they are. I should take a quick look at Gaia. You just don't get enough detail out of Zumo. I still think I'm okay just staying on this. I think that'll get me there. Boy, all these little side tracks everywhere. Again, I'm guessing just camping. That sign about the mountain lion habitat would worry you a little bit, but then again, from Colorado, we lived in mountain lion country. They would actually go by our house. We lived in the country, and I saw their tracks in scat. I never actually saw one. Our neighbor across the street sent us a text and warned us to watch out for a mountain lion. He saw one go across our front yard, and then there was a dirt road that was probably, I don't know, 20 feet wide at least. And I guess the mountain lion was feeling a little skittish, and it just jumped over the whole thing into my neighbor's front yard and then ran on out of sight somewhere. But yeah, we had them. Never attacked us or our dogs, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. It's rare, though. Not very common. And mountain lions do not like dogs. And if you got two dogs, what I've heard, it's not real likely that mountain lion will give you any trouble. If you have one small dog, you can wind up losing your dog to mountain lion. That's a little less certain. Well, gee, Garmin says I'm on Picayune Road now. And I think I want to go back this way. I'm not sure, though. This is the right direction, though, to get back to FR45. Well, this is a very scenic little road. Lots of stuff off to the left. I'm probably not showing it very well with the camera. Lots and lots of roads out here. I think I'm now getting back to the FR45. And so I'll just make a little loop back and head home. Well, that's where I started my loop, so that's it. Now I'm back on the road that I was on coming out. So the PCT, Pacific Coast Trail, crosses right here, and a lot of people will park here and hike parts of it. And Joline and I have done that before. Back on FR26 again, and I just take this pretty much all the way home. About an hour and 50 minutes and 43 miles.